Right, it was a multi-day camping trip, 2-night camping trip, and the first day and a half was just terrible hunting conditions. You know, it was beautiful nights and nice sunny day, but the wind was, there was a northwest storm going on, and we were just hunting high, right? And so the next day, our strategy was we figured they were all kind of in the subalpine below camp. And so the next day, that's where we were hunting. We were hunting, you know, we're on our way down because we were gonna get our deer down below camp. And that's where we were seeing a lot of the sign, and we were just before we could say, you know, looks like a good spot to call. That's when we heard the woofing, and Josh immediately said bear. And so it was only. It didn't get the memo that it was supposed to bluff charge, right?
Yeah.
Like this was
serious. You wouldn't stop it.
It was, and frankly, it was too close. And because of the nature of the northwesterly, we were hiking straight into the wind. We were, it was great hunting conditions for us at that time. Like the windstorm is kind of dying, but it was still a northwesterly, and so the bears couldn't not smell us. By the time they heard us, that it just heard us. It didn't smell us. It didn't see us. And that's why it was startled. And that's why I think it was not bluff charging. I mean, it meant to kill. And it chased me first. And as I was running away, backing away, I was trying to swing at it with my trekking pole because my rifle was in my sling on my backpack. You know,
it's out there. It's not like off the side of the road, hiking in the bushes a little. We're up on a mountain that we took a boat to get to, and then hiked up onto the mountain, and we were way away from Hoonah, 10 miles southwest of Hoonah, up in the bay, Port Frederick. You know, it wasn't there's no land search and rescue coming to get us. There's no, the helicopter was the only option. I knew that when I locked eyes with her, I was trying to get my rifle up to shoot her, but she closed the distance so fast that I couldn't. But in those seconds, I knew I was going to get mauled. I knew she was going to tear me up real bad, and I knew Anthony was going to shoot her, and I knew we had to call for help immediately. And prepare myself for that. I knew that I didn't want to die, and I knew that I had to be calm for him too, because I can't imagine how traumatic it was for him to watch his friend getting ripped apart. I mean, just pure rage. I could feel the rage in her, and I love bears. I love watching bears. I think it's a treat to see a bear in the woods, I think it's great seeing, and I could feel the rage in her, just her, when I would was screaming, she just she meant business. But I knew I had to be calm for Anthony, and I had to be calm for me, and I knew if I started getting shook up too much, that I might die of shock. I might start bleeding out. I knew there was a chance I might lose too much blood, or that the helicopter might take too long, or there's all kinds of factors. But I knew that I had to be strong for Anthony. I had to be strong for myself too, and try to block the pain out, because it was really painful. It still is painful, but I knew I had to be strong or I was gonna die.
Yeah.
I was trying to cheer him up too. I was trying to crack jokes and be a little positive. Like I said that at least it's sunny out. Things like that, because I know he was. I can't imagine. I can't imagine if it was the other way around. I know I would have done exactly what he did, but you don't know that. I mean, some people could faint. A person could run away. A person could, you don't know. You don't know how different people react differently in those situations, and there's no time to hesitate.
No, it was. What do you think? It was 10 seconds, maybe, from when she charged us to when she was on her back. I bet it was no more.
It was pretty fast. It was fast. She did a lot of damage in that time. I'd say the attack was
10 seconds?
Probably 10 to 15 seconds of mangling, but she meant business, because she knew what she was doing too. She definitely had probably taken a deer down, or had to fight other bears off to protect her cubs or stuff, because she meant business. It wasn't. I didn't consider myself a threat, and I remember thinking that, like, I'm not, after I could feel her raging up when I was screaming, I stopped screaming, and I kind of just let my body go limp, and even then she was still being methodical with her movement. She was, she had her paws on my shoulders and was trying to, make sure there's no threat there. I even tried to, she was biting my shoulder, and I tried to get my hand above my head to cover my head, but she just moved my hands out of the way and started biting my head. It just, she definitely was on her game.
It was not a fight.
No, there's no fighting back. There's no comparing human strength and animal strength. But it was fast, and it was she was just on point. She wasn't messing around. She was in pure mama mode. Well, the first injury was my leg, and when she bit down on my leg, my thigh, she ripped so hard, and I was so enrooted in the moment. I could feel everything. I could hear everything. And when she ripped on my thigh, it sounded like paper ripping, and she pulled my thigh. I felt my whole thigh muscle move away from my leg bone. And since then we've talked, my girlfriend Adrienne bought me some real nice pants they're non-tear pants, they're real tough for hunting. And I think the only thing that stopped my thigh from coming completely off was those pants. I think if I had some fleece pants on or just some regular old hunting pants on, because I felt it sounded like paper when she ripped here, but she bit there, ripped on it, let go of there. I was bit on the thigh on this side, just puncture wounds on that, not nearly as severe as this side. Bit on both, so both thighs, both butt cheeks. The one butt cheek on this side, I could actually feel her teeth touch through, so she bit completely through my butt cheek. She got my right side on the flank there, right on this side of the, nothing on my left side, but on my right side, a little bit on my forearm, nothing too serious, and my shoulder, she bit me in my shoulder, and then my head, along my side of my head to my ear.
That was the last one.
Last one. That was where she was at when he shot her. And I could feel her kind of wobble up. I felt the pressure of her pushing down was so intense, and when I knew, because I wasn't really listening for a gunshot, I was just trying to concentrate on survive, and I remember feeling her kind of, that pressure lift a little bit. She still was pushing down on me, but you could tell that she knew something was wrong with herself. And then the second shot was what rolled her off of me. But in those split seconds, she did quite a bit of damage. Me and Anthony were calm. The Coast Guard crew, when they landed, they came down and seen that we were calm, and everyone was calm, and it just was calm all the way to the operating room. We were downstairs, and they were bringing in different doctors, and everyone was really surprised how composed we were. I know from all the people that have come to visit me, and a lot of my friends I've talked to, and people that friends that hunt, a lot of them are rethinking things. Because they go, wow, if Josh, who spends a lot of time in the woods, if Josh can get mauled by a bear, wow, I can probably get mauled by a bear too. A lot of my friends hunt alone too. I've spent hundreds of hours in the woods by myself in places that don't have cell phone signals, and miles away from the road. And if I was by myself, she would have killed me right there. I mean, I would have been dead. There was no getting to my rifle. She separated me from my rifle, which I wasn't even looking for my rifle. I was at her mercy. The only thing that would have stopped the attack was her stopping the attack. She meant business. She was gonna kill me. She wasn't gonna, hold me down and be like, "You're not a threat to my babies anymore." She was gonna make sure I wasn't a threat anymore, and that was that. Like, this were to happen, that you might be scared to go in the woods and scared of a bear, like feel like you might be like, is there a bear over there? Is there a bear? Things like that. But I got harbor no badness towards the bear, anything like that. I think it's just a learning experience. I mean, it's a pretty tough lesson to learn, but I think the positive coming out of this is way more than the negative.
Mm-hmm.
Way more. And just to see the outpour of everybody coming to visit me, it's really been building me up big time. There's a lot of people that I didn't know really cared that much that do care, you know, to see all that. Because it's tough, you know, you go through life and you have ups and downs, and I feel like I've been in a down, but this has really been a positive thing for me, big time, you know. But when it comes to the woods, I'm not going to quit hunting, but, you know, I'm being more cautious and realize that it can happen. I wouldn't like it to happen again, you know, but if I was by myself, like I said, I'd probably be buried under a root wad or something. You know, she was going to kill me. She wasn't going to stop. I'm really lucky she didn't do too much damage to my brain, my skull. I mean, I can feel the skull bone so sore. But that's where she was. I think she would have definitely started puncturing my skull, and she still ripped on it, but it wasn't, you know, full on. Definitely, I could have lost my eye. I'm so happy to have my hands. I'm happy to have my eyes. You know. Things are looking up for sure. I'm not gonna let it affect my lifestyle anymore. Just be a little more cautious to things and realize that things can happen. That you're not untouchable. You get touched sometimes.